Let's answer some general questions about Fisker bankruptcy. All of this information can be found publicly. I'm just putting it together for you for your reference. Chapter 11. Is it only for continuing businesses? No, you can restructure under Chapter 11, but you can also liquidate under Chapter 11. The difference between a Chapter 11 liquidation and a Chapter 7 liquidation is that in a Chapter 11 liquidation, the management remains, and in a Chapter 7 liquidation, a trustee is appointed to oversee the liquidation. Fisker is doing the Chapter 11 liquidation. Fisker has, because they filed bankruptcy, an automatic stay on all judgments. And all means all. You can't sue them. If you were going to sue them, you're not allowed to. If you have sued them in the past, you'll be listed as a potential creditor on the matrix, but that's basically it. More on that later. There's not much difference between someone who has a warranty and someone who wants to sue Fisker the company for damages. All of it is encapsulated under this bankruptcy. And since there are no ways to get money out of Fisker now since they filed bankruptcy other than through bankruptcy, there's an order in which that happens. There are secured claims, administrative expenses, priority unsecured claims, that's like taxes and wages, and then there are general unsecured claims, basically everything else, or anyone who's owed money. And then finally, if there's anything left at the end of that, there's equity interest. That's your shareholders. So if you're still holding the 1 penny shares, there they are. Typically in bankruptcy, there's not a lot to be had there because it's almost always a settlement because there's not enough money, hence the bankruptcy. The bad news is Heights Capital, that's the note holder, is now a secured claim, which is above everyone else. But the security of the claim happened after the money was lended to them, so that may open up the door for some investigations. The investigations are done by the Unsecured Creditors Committee that, in my last video I detailed, has been established, but is very early in that process. However, the representatives in that Unsecured Creditor Committee are going to be responsible for investigating to establish any parameters around the security of that claim. So who are the unsecured creditors? That's TomTom, US Bank, Microsoft, and your warranty. But not only your warranty. If you have an arbitration decision or a lemon law decision, unless you've secured a lien, and you would know if you had, that is also an unsecured claim. If you have an arbitration decision that says Fisker has to buy back your ocean, the most likely outcome, and this is not set in stone, it's just what we know now, so this video could be completely wrong in the future, but historically, you have an unsecured claim, and your portion of that unsecured claim will go along with US Bank and TomTom and the warranties as a percentage based on the allotment to that bucket of hierarchy in bankruptcy court. So that's really not good news if you have an arbitration claim, but that is the reality. Also, Fisker Ocean 1 benefits are also an unsecured claim. Now, you don't automatically get an unsecured claim and money in the event that you're on this creditor list. The creditor list is a list of people who Fisker is currently listing as potentially having a claim. If you want to have a claim, you are not on the list yet. You need a proof of claim. That is a form that you'll have to fill out by a deadline. The deadline has not been established yet, but that deadline won't be established until August 15th. At least that's my understanding based on the bankruptcy documents so far. But there will be a bar date, and that's your deadline to file a proof of claim. You will be mailed this proof of claim form that you'll put your information on, what your claim is, and any evidence you have into the filing for the court. But once again, there's not a deadline for that yet, and those documents haven't been sent out because that level of progress has not been made in this case. Are you entitled any Ocean 1 benefits? Are you entitled a warranty? Are you entitled access to parts? No, you are not. And anything that Fisker has promised you in the past must be claimed in bankruptcy court in the event that you want it. There will be no judge telling Fisker that you must receive Fisker Ocean 1 benefits. You'll have to fight for a portion of that likely in court. Once again, when I say likely, I mean based on historical evidence, none of this progress has been made in the Fisker case as of yet. I'm just trying to help you understand what is the likelihood and what's going to happen. What if I have a car and my car has a recall and my recall has not been completed? That is a promise made by Fisker, and it is not something that the bankruptcy court will force Fisker to do.
The first rookie triple.
The Fisker Owners Association has legal representation, and the Unsecured Creditors Committee has the ability to investigate claims. Those are your best bets for those actions. And finally, this motion to sell all these vehicles to American Lease is not set in stone yet. It has not been approved. That's also your best bet, in my opinion. Once again, this is opinion and speculation. I'm just trying to help you understand. But if the U.S. trustee, the legal representation from the creditors, and the committee of unsecured creditors can amend the motion for the sale of these vehicles to include the recall for your Oceans, you could add access to software, access to service, etc. That is the best possible outcome, at least in my head right now, based on my knowledge of the company. All of this stuff that you think, hey, I can sue, I can get this. Well, you're stayed from suing. You can't because bankruptcy. Are you going to get these benefits? There may be some portion of some benefits that you may have a right to. But in order to do that, you'll have to fill out that document when it comes in the mail. You'll have to become a part of this case. And then you'll have to take whatever is decided based on either this tiered system of payout or some kind of settlement. In the documents for the sale, 363 is mentioned tons of times. And in order to properly sell your assets under the 363 sale section of bankruptcy, you have to do a marketing process. The court has to approve that process. There has to be an auction potentially. There's an announcement of the auction. Once the auction is complete, the sale has to be approved. And Fisker, once again, like I stated in my previous video, and Fisker tried to sell their only real assets out from under all the creditors before they could successfully organize. We've already done our marketing. We've already done any other look. There is no other option. This is the only way that we can possibly sell all of these vehicles or any of these vehicles in any way. And the reason they said the sale needed to be approved so quickly was because of this payroll issue as well. Whether or not parts are available is a 100% up in the air question. I'm fairly certain that nobody knows where any parts are or how many parts there are. But the only good news is that in that sale document, American Lease doesn't specifically state that they are purchasing parts. But we all know, based on articles and evidence and history, that Fisker did not take a lot of effort into making any kind of parts stockpile. So parts is going to definitely still be a question. And there's no answer for that as of right now. If you have a loan from Fisker Finance and you want to sue Chase, if Chase has a claim against Fisker, that's going to be prevented under the stay because you can't file any lawsuits against Fisker itself. So once again, there is no detail or evidence that you can't file a lawsuit against Chase. But if that results in action and responsibility against Fisker, then that's going to be prevented anyhow. Right now, Fisker owners are getting nothing. They're getting no guarantees about parts, no guarantees about service, no guarantees about warranties, nothing. In the event that any of that happens, it will be done through this bankruptcy court. I just wanted to run through these details. I hope this answers some of the questions you may possibly have. You can let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Join Patreon, become a YouTube member for early access to videos, and if you're interested in EV etiquette, I have an entire website dedicated to it. Subscribe for more. We'll see you on the next one.
Smash the like button.
Thank you.